We were excited when we found out that we were having twins. The complications came really quickly. We literally went in for a checkup and an ultrasound, a regular weekly checkup, and things had gotten so bad so fast that within 2 hours we were on the road up to Cincinnati. They were 1.5 pounds and 1.7 pounds when they were born. So you could place your hands on them. You couldn't really touch their skin directly because it was still very sensitive. They had a lot of lung issues, which ultimately led to Margot getting a trach. So we had to wait for lung development. They were intubated for about 4 months. But being at Cincinnati Children's, they have such an exceptional program, exactly what the girls needed.
I think it was maybe 2 weeks after they were first born that I got to hold them both at the same time. And they were about the length of a standard pencil, and they just fit right.
They were mono twins. So that means they shared the same placenta and the same inner sac, and only about 50% of mono twins actually make it. So at 25 weeks, actually, they pretty much told us to choose which baby we wanted to save. And we decided to wait to give both of them their best chance, which then brought us to Cincinnati. It was 2 days after they were born. On December 23rd was the first time I got to go over and see Kinsey. And we got a phone call from Kylie's doctor saying we needed to get back to the hospital for her. So we went back and they told us that there was nothing else they could do for her. They had done everything they could.
So we went ahead and had her baptized that night and just got praying over her. And they did a blood draw real quick and her oxygen started going up. Just kept coming through. Kept getting better and better, and then we knew that she was stable enough that everything was going to be okay.
When I first was in the hospital and we were talking to the nurses about where I was going to stay after the girls were transferred to the NICU and I was discharged, they kept mentioning the Ronald McDonald house. And I had heard of the Ronald McDonald house before, but I had never been to one.
It's such a steep learning curve when you have babies in the NICU. You have to learn everything from heart rates to pulse oximeters. You have to learn all these different medical things and make these decisions at a very fast pace. You don't really have time to think about what am I gonna make for dinner tonight, or you know, is there a place down the road where I can do laundry? The million things that you would never think about needing when your kids are in the NICU for a long time. There's somebody here who's thought about it for thousands of families and thousands of babies that have been through something like this before.
Being so close to the hospital makes leaving your babies there a little bit easier. Knowing that you can come back just to be right across the street if the doctor would call. You know, you can be there in 30 seconds if you need to. Gives you a big peace of mind.
I was leaving the NICU and I noticed Tracy across in another pod, and I thought she looks really familiar. And then later that night I saw her and Adam coming into the Ronald McDonald house, and on a spur I just went up to them and said, "Do you have a baby in the NICU? Because I have 2 girls in there too, and I just wanted to say hi and give you a hug." And she said, "We actually have 2 girls in the NICU too." And so we kind of bonded over having premature identical twin girls.
It was amazing to hear the similarities in stories and how close they were in age even. So we started hanging out with them a little bit more and talking more, and we've become great friends with them.
There were several nights that I would come back from the hospital and I would be so tempted to just go sit in my room and go to bed or read a book or be by myself and be sad and be thinking about everything that was going on. And I would walk through the kitchen and there would be volunteers making dinner, there would be people doing crafts, and they would say, "Hey, come join us, come sit with us." I think it helped Elijah not have to worry about me holding myself up in the room and becoming depressed, knowing that I had somebody who was saying, "Hey, let's go for a walk together, let's eat dinner together, let's talk about everything that's gone on today together and process things," going through the same thing as she was.
Nothing is more difficult than seeing your child hooked up to a machine that's keeping them breathing. You're helping families keep their sanity in the most difficult period of life that they're ever going to go through.
If it weren't for the Ronald McDonald House, our emotional, financial stress would be through the roof. But because of the house, everything is manageable. Every diagnosis that we hit, every roadblock, every stepping stone was made possible because of the Ronald McDonald House.